Alright, let us take another example that says a rectangular solid, it's like a box, okay, with square base, has a surface area 541.5 centimeters square. Find the dimension that will result in a solid with maximum volume. So what we're putting is, we're putting that box in a sleeping position, meaning that the longer face is on the bottom. But this is what it is talking about. If you make this upright position, that this will be the base, right? What it says is the base is the square position. So I'm assuming that, so square means all the sides are equal, right? I'm assuming that the dimension of the base is x, meaning the length of base equals to x, and then let's say the height of the box is, let's say, y, right? So what you want to do is you want to maximize the volume. Can you tell me what is the volume formula? Volume is base area times the height. So what is the area of the base? Area of this one is x times x square, and the height is y, right? So the volume will be x squared times y. But you want to maximize it. To maximize it, you must have either only x or only y on the right hand side, right? But how do I replace y values? Well, let's use that. What it says is the surface area is 541.5. What do you mean by the surface area? Surface area is, what is the formula for the surface area? Surface area is basically the sum of the area of all the faces, right? So what is the area of this face is x squared, and area of that face on the other side, opposite of that, is basically x squared, right? So that will give you x squared plus x squared plus, now let's find out the area of the sides here. What is the area of this face? It is like y, and then this is like x, right? X times y. So this is x times y, the opposite of x times y, the top is x times y, the bottom is x times y. So it will be basically 4xy. If you simplify this, you will get 2x squared plus 4xy, right? That's the surface area. But what is the surface area given? It is 541.5, right? So you will get 541.5 equals to 2x squared plus 4xy. I want to solve this for y, and I want to use this on the volume. Okay, what you get is, so let's subtract 2x squared. You will get 541.5 minus 2x squared equals to 4xy, right? Now divide by 4x, you will be solving for y. So what you get is 541.5 minus 2x squared over 4x equals to y. If you want to, it will be easier to simplify, like you split the denominator. What you get is y is 541.5 over 4x minus 2x squared over 4x equals to y. So if you simplify this, you will get y equals to 135.375 minus this is x, right? So x over x minus 1 over 2x. That's what you get, right? Okay, so now we want to plug in this into the v, hence so v equals to x squared times y is 135 minus 0.375 over x minus 1/2 x, right? So what you get, if you distribute this x squared, you will get 135.375 and then x, because x squared divided by x, right? That will be x minus 1/2, and that will be x to the third. Okay, now to find out the maximum or minimum value of v, or maximize or minimize the v, the process is same. Find out v prime. What is v prime? Is 135.375 minus 3/2 x square. That's what you get, right? That is the v prime. But to find out the maximum or minimum values, you set that equals to 0. So what you get is basically you get 135.375 equals to 3/2 x square. You multiply both sides by 2 and divide by 3. So what you get is you will get x square equals to, so x square equals to, you get 90.25. 90.25. So what will be the x value then? If you take the square root of on both sides, then you will get x equals to, basically we are taking the positive square root because it cannot be negative, 9.5. That's what you get. So x is 9.5, right? Both x's are 9.5. Now I want to find out y. What is the value of y? You plug in x here. If you plug in x, then you will get y, the length will be 135.375 over 9.5. 9.5 minus 1/2 times 9.5. That's what you get, right? So if you do that, you will get basically y is 9.5 as well. If you use calculator for that, you will get y is also 9.5. Now what you want to do next is you want to verify that this x and y values, basically they maximize v, right? So to check whether it is maximum or minimum, you find out the v double prime. So what is your v double prime? Is that will be, we want to find the derivative of v prime, right? So this will be 0 and this will be negative 3/2 times 2x, right? So it will be negative 3/2 times the 2x. If you cancel that, you will get negative 3x, right? So at x equals to 9.5, v double prime equals to negative 3 times 9.5. If you use calculator, you will get negative 28.5, right? Which is negative, hence v has maximum at x equals to 9.5, which is the end of the solution. All right, so let us do another example, example number 5, or example 5 here. What it says is a rectangle is bounded by x-axis and a semicircle y equals to 49 minus x square. What length and width should the rectangle have so that the area is maximum? Because you can make so many rectangles under this, inside that semicircle, right? You can make a rectangle like, you can make, if you want to, you can make a rectangle like this, right? Another rectangle could be like this. So you can make so many other rectangles, but what you want to, what you need is, you need a rectangle with maximum area. So what should be the length and width so that the area of the rectangle is largest? That's what it is asking for. Okay, so okay, since you want to find out the dimension of the rectangle, meaning length and width of the rectangle, so what we want to do is, let us suppose that this is like, since this is the origin, right? Since this is the origin, let's suppose that this is x and this is x and then this is y. So this is basically, this point is x comma y, right? So y is that value. So you will replace y by that value. So, but by the way, what is the area of the rectangle here? So the area is length times the width, right? What is the length? Length is 2x times the width is y, right? Basically this is 2xy, and you want to maximize the rectangle area here, right? So you want to maximize the area. So to maximize the area, you need to find out the first derivative of a and then set that equals to 0. All those steps we did in the previous example. But here it has x and y. So we need to replace y by that value and then find the derivative after that. Okay, so a is 2x times under the root 49 minus x squared. That is a, right? So now we need to find out the first derivative. So a prime, this is like, you can take this like f and this like g, right? So this has 49 minus x squared to the 1/2. So let me write this way. So this is like 2x, you can write just x and then 49 minus x squared to the 1/2 prime, right? This is the, we are trying to find out the derivative of that function. I'm just writing, this is like, you can say like, this is like f and this is like g, right? So what is the formula? It is like f prime times g plus f times the g prime, right? So let's do that. F prime is 2 times g is, you can write for simplicity 49 minus x squared plus f is 2x times the g prime is, it is like u to the 1/2, right? What is the formula for u to the 1/2? It is n u 49 minus x squared times to the n minus 1, that will be negative 1/2 times the u prime is negative 2x, right? The derivative of the inside will be negative 2x. Now you cancel that 2 and then that 2. What you get is basically 2 root under 49 minus x squared, right? And then minus, there is 2x and then there is x left, right? So negative 2x squared, but this has exponent negative, so I want to move this to the bottom with the root. So 49 minus x squared. So what is left? So is, I want to simplify. Before I set that equals to 0, I want to simplify this on both sides. What do I get? Is, if I simplify, I will get 2 times, this is just like, you can do cross, right? So it is root 49 minus x square, root 49 minus x square will be just 49 minus x square, and then minus 1 times 2x square will be 2x square divided by root 49 minus x square. If you simplify this, you will get 49 times 2 is basically 98 minus 2x square minus 2x square, right? That's what you get. And then divide by root under 49 minus x square. Now let me further simplify this. You will get 98 minus 4x square divided by 49 minus x square. Now to find out the critical points, what should you do? Is you set that equals to 0, right? If you set that equals to 0, what do you get? You should do the top equals to 0, bottom equals to 0. If you do the top equals to 0, you will get 98 minus 4x squared equals to 0. You will get 98 equals to 4x squared divided by 4. You will get and then take the square root, right? You will get 98 divided by 4 is how much? Is that 24.5 equals to x squared. So this, if you take the square root, you will get almost equals to x is approximately equals to 4.9, because 5 square is 25, right? So 4.9 square will be almost equal to 24.9. So but if you do the denominator, if you set the denominator equals to 0, what do you get? If you set the denominator equals to 0, you will get, because the critical numbers are those that makes the derivative 0 or derivative undefined, right? So find out the set the denominator equals to 0, you will get 49 minus x squared equals to 0. So 49 equals to x squared. Take the square root, you will get x equals to 7. So you will get either x equals to 4.9 or x equals to 7, right? So when x is 4.9, what will be y? Y will be 49 minus 4.9 square, right? And if x equals to 7, y will be 0. So it looks like it is not good idea, because When x equals to 7, then you will get y equals to 0. So when y is 0, then it is basically the width is 0, so the area will be 0 because length times width, right? So we ignore this value. We ignore that value. We just take 4.9. So we got x equals to 4.9 is the critical value, right? So now you plug in to find out y. So y will be under the root 49 minus x square. If you do that, you will get basically this one is also almost, let me write down here, almost equals to 4.9. That's what you get. Okay, now so we are able to find out the x and y values. So the length is what is the length, by the way? What is the length? So basically here the width is 4.9, right? But what is the length? Length is not x, right? Length is 2x, because we said that x is half of that, so that will be 9, and then width is basically the y, right? That is not 4.9, it is 4.5. Okay, now we want to check the second derivative for this x and y value is basically negative, because for the maximum we need the second derivative maximum. So let's find out the a double prime. If I find out the a double prime, what do I get? Is basically I need to use the quotient rule for that, right? So you get 98 minus 4x squared divided by 49 minus x squared. Okay, so you need to use the prime of that, right? You need to use the quotient rule for that. If you find out the quotient rule, and then if you use the quotient rule and find out the second derivative, how would that look like? It will be like do you know what is the formula? It is like f over z and then prime. That will give you f prime times z minus f times z prime divided by z square, right? So what is f prime? Is negative 8x times z is 49 minus x square, minus f is 98 minus 4x square times z prime. Z prime will be how did we find out the prime of what was z here? This is same z as that z, right? What was the z prime? Z prime was negative 2x squared over 49 minus x squared, right? So times negative 2x squared over 49 minus x squared. That's what you get. Divide by z square. That is 49 minus x square only, because square of the g, right? Square of g will, the root will cancel with the square. That's what you get. If you plug in at x equals to 4.5, what do you get? A double prime. Let's check. Okay, if you plug in 4.5, positive 4.5, this will be negative, this will be positive, this is 4.9 square, this will be 0 basically when you plug in x equals to 4.5, and this will be positive, right? So basically you get negative, the value will be negative. Hence A is maximum at x equals to 4.5. So that's the solution. Okay, the last example on this section is this. So what is happening here is, this is the ocean. A man is boating in the ocean. So the man is on 2 units away from the coastline in the ocean, okay, and he wants to go to the point Q. The point Q is 1 unit away from the coastline in the land, okay. Also the point A and B are 3 miles apart. So the question is, where should the man go on the land? Should he go like here and then walk like that, or should he go here at the point A and then walk like this, or should he go to the point here just diagonally and then walk like that, or how should he go so that he can reach the point Q in the least time? So basically what we want to do here is, what is the shortest distance from the man to the point Q, right? It looks like to me the shortest distance will be like this. It will be like, if you do like this, and then if you go like directly diagonally, then it will be the shortest distance. But how far is that distance is? So that's the thing that we want to find out. Okay, so what we want to do here is basically suppose that x is the distance, or x is the point, x is the distance from A to that point where the man should go. That is the distance x. Okay, let me draw that. This length is x. Since A and B are 3 miles apart, so the other part will be 3 minus x, right? 3 minus x in that case. Now let's do this. So since this is x, this is 2, so what is this diagonal? This diagonal is, if you use the Pythagoras theorem, then it will give you h squared equals to, let's say that the first one is h1. So h1 square equals to 2 square plus x square, right? So what you get is h1 equals to under the root 4 plus x square, right? Similarly, on this big triangle, or you can say it's a smaller triangle, if you can assume that man is going from that side, or either way. If you think that one, then this is 3 minus x, this is 1 unit, right? So what is the h2? Let's say h2 square equals to 3 minus x square. Again, there is a right angle triangle, plus 1 square, right? So what will be h2 then? h2 is, let's simplify that. What you get is 3 minus x times 3 minus x. You will get 10 minus 6x plus x square. That's what you will get. 10 minus 6x plus x square under the root. When you take the square root on both sides and simplify that. Okay, now your goal is minimize h1 plus h2, right? Let's say sum is h1 plus h2. That is, what is that? Is under the root 4 plus x square plus under the root 10 minus 6x, or you can write x square minus 6x plus 10. I forgot to mention you one thing, because the question also gives that the man can row in a speed of 3 miles per hour and he can walk at a speed of 3 miles per hour again. So his speed of rowing and speed of walking is same. That's what it says. In that case, what should be the value of x so that the man can reach to the point Q in the least time, smallest time? Okay, so since s is that this is the distance to row, and this is the distance in the land to walk, right? So if I want to find the total time that man needs, the time function will be, the total time will be basically h1 over 3 plus h2 over 3. That's what you will get, right? Because this is the total time, is the distance over the velocity plus another distance over the velocity. So if you do that, what you get is basically 1 over 3 4 plus x squared to the 1/2. Why am I writing in terms of the exponent? Because I have to find out the derivative, right? Plus 1 over 3 and then x squared minus 6x plus 10. That's what I get. Okay, to the 1/2. To the 1/2. Now to find out the shortest distance or the minimum time, maximum time, whatever, if it is asking about maximum or minimum, you always find out the first derivative and they said that equals to 0. What is the first derivative? You will get 1/3 times 1/2. It is like u to the n u 4 plus x squared to the negative 1/2 times 2x, right, times u prime, plus 1/3 times 1/2, and then x squared minus 6x plus 10 to the negative 1/2 times 2x minus 3. That's what you get. If you write in the better form, it looks like this. You will get that 2 and 2 will cancel out, right? So you will get basically x over root under 4 plus x squared, and there is 3 outside, and then plus you basically get 2x minus 3 over 6, and then a square root x squared minus 6x plus 10, and then you set that equals to 0, right, because the first derivative equals to 0. If you set that, then you will get, if you want to solve for x, this is a little complicated to solve, but the best or shortest way would be you write x over 3 root under 4 plus x squared, and then equals to, move that to the right side, you get 2x minus 3 over 6 under the root x squared minus 6x plus 10. That's what that 10. That's what you do. Okay. Now square on both sides. If you square on both sides, what do you get? You get x squared over 9 times 4 plus x squared equals to, square of that will be 2x minus 3 square, divide by 36 times x squared minus 6x plus 10. This, what do you get? This is a little long problem, so I would do, what you can try, I mean, you can try, you can use calculator too. You can, how do I use calculator? You can try different value. You can bring this to the left side and then find the solution, like enter that in calculator, y equals to this minus that thing, and find the roots. You can do that. Or let's try 1. Does x equals to 1 work? Just trying, like guessing the values. Okay, if you write x equals to 1, you will get 1 over 9 times 4 plus 1, 5. 1 over 45 on the left side. On the right side, you will get 2 times 1 is 2 minus 3 is a negative 1 square is positive 1, and then 1 minus 6 is negative 5 plus 10 is positive 5. 36 times 5, right? So it looks like 1 doesn't work because you got 45 on the bottom here. You don't get 45 on the bottom. How about 2? Let's try x equals to 2. What do you get? X equals to 2. Does it give you the left, right, and right side equal? Let's do that. 4 over 4 plus 4 is 8, right? Because when you take x equals to 8 times 9 is 72. So you get 4 over 72 on the left, and on the right side you got 2 times 2, 4 minus 1, 3 is 1 square is 1 over 36 times. So it is 4, 2 square is 4 minus 12. How much is 4 minus 12? 4 minus 12 is negative 8 plus 10 is 2. 36 times 2. So basically it is 2, right? So what do I get? It is basically, okay, I found there is an error. I made a mistake there. So it should be 6 here. It should be 6. Okay, if you do that, that will get 2 times 2, so negative 2 square, right? That is 4. So you got, so when you take x equals to 2, you will get 4 over 72, 4 over 72, right? So basically x equals 2 is the critical number. So basically x equals to 2 is the critical number. But you know what, this problem is harder to solve. That's why I tried the value and then I ignore basically the other values. So there may be other values that makes the denominator 0, right, on the right hand side here. But I am just trying to find out just one value there. X equals 2 is the critical value. Now I want to see whether x equals to 2 will give you the minimize the t double prime. So I assume that it minimized 2 because it is complicated, so you can try to find the derivative. Also I would do t double prime is greater than 0 at x equals to 2. I'm assuming that it works, okay, and it definitely works at x equals to, hence t is minimum when x equals to 2, right? So x equals to 2 means what? If he go 2 units away from A, if he walks like that and then walk directly to that point Q, that will be the shortest time. That's what it means, okay? So x must be the x equals to is the right answer. Thank you guys.